Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
Hello, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us. I'm very pleased to have Mechelle Tucker with me here today. Mechelle is the founder of First Class Consultant, First Class Candles, and First Class Notary. With a fierce commitment to transforming the landscape of success, Mechelle is dedicated to fostering collaboration and strategic alliances that empower both individuals and businesses to thrive. What truly distinguishes Mechelle in her field is her relentless pursuit of win-win wins. Beyond her professional achievements, Mechelle is an ardent mentor dedicated to empowering the next generation of leaders to embrace collaboration and chase their aspirations. Welcome to the show, Mechelle.
Thank you for having me, Tim. I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. So it sounds like you have a few things going at the same time. That's awesome. That's very entrepreneurial of you.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about right now? What do you want to start with?
You know, I'm super excited. I actually just opened up my first brick and mortar. I actually have a home for my candle business. I started the candle business during the pandemic. So definitely, in addition to me being a service to other business owners, it's a blessing to be of service for my own company and being able to also make my own dreams a reality. So I'm super excited to move out of my living room to the office. So the office is actually multifunctional. So the office, the location is set up to be, for my business office, also as a retail store and a cafe. So I'm able to kind of, as I'm a serial entrepreneur, but I'm also able to maximize all of my companies at this one location. So I'm super excited about that because we just got the key last week. So that's new and hot off the press.
Awesome. That's fresh. Okay, very cool. And does that work? So is that your notary office as well? Or I was assuming you were going to say it started in the pandemic. It was a mobile notary business. How much your notary is it?
Yeah, no, I was. I've actually been a notary for 9 years. Mm-hmm. So I've actually been a notary for 9 years. And definitely during the pandemic, I was considered an essential worker and I was working my buns off because it was busy during that season. So I know a lot of people from social media, they see me kind of in the celebrity mixes and kind of in the entertainment mixes, but they'll learn obviously through the podcast that being a first class notary and also my first class candles is my bread and butter. That's how I pay my bills. So I'm very intentional about those companies. And also I teach other people how to become a notary and successful at that. And I'm also going to get into candle making classes. So I'm all about, once again, that win-win-win and that empowerment. I'm not a gatekeeper. I feel like there's a big enough slice of the pie for us all. And it just takes the right teamwork to make the dream work.
Okay, that's all great. Good stuff. So are you going to, at the cafe, you're going to have classes at the cafe for the candle making?
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that rollout. I also hosted a candle pouring class last week for Friendsgiving for an organization and locally based here. So I'm definitely getting all moved in and getting all set up to be able to host the series of just pouring classes, candle classes, just things to make people feel good. That was the whole intent, Tim, and why I got into the candle space. I wanted to be able to get a byproduct, something that I would love, something that I would get behind. I didn't realize I would love it the way that I do. And I guess because, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm constantly busy. So to be able to find self-care time and a time to be able to kind of zen me out is important. My peace is important. I have a lot going on. So to be able to have this as my byproduct and then for people to love them the way that they have, I've been super just grateful and thankful for the opportunity and I'm growing. So I'm super excited.
Okay, excellent. And it's very good timing, right? For coming into the holiday season, you launching, you have a special event coming up to grand opening or Black Friday.
Yeah, actually, we're going to be doing a soft opening, kind of like an open house this upcoming Friday from 3 to 8 p.m. So I'll definitely tag you, get you some information about where we're located, the time. We would love to be able to expand that to your network. And I got some giveaways and some fun stuff to get in the holiday spirit for everybody that comes out this Friday.
Okay, excellent. Well, the good news is this should air before the holidays, but the bad news is it won't be before that date. We're a couple weeks out, I think.
That's okay. We're gearing up for Christmas too, so it's all good. No catches.
Our listeners and viewers, we're recording this on right before Thanksgiving, so that's exciting times though. Very cool, Mechelle. So, what would you say is something that sets you apart in your businesses?
I think what sets me apart is the win-win-win effect. I think that's something that people have as a niche, understand that I don't just talk about it, that I be about it. I'm very intentional as far as showing up for other people. And I think that's just something that's rare in this space because you got people who have been hurt, lied to, taken advantage of. And a lot of people just don't have that trust factor like they used to. So when they're able to kind of meet me and see that my first intentions is how I can be of service, how I can be of help, it kind of takes people by afar, but they welcome that energy and that safe space to be able to exchange, share, and see how we can help each other grow, which I feel like is the way that we're supposed to be. We're supposed to help each other, empower each other, support each other, and be there for one another.
Right. I imagine that scarcity mindset might be a sign of the times, but I think that stuff kind of comes and goes. Where do you suppose your abundance mindset, your win-win came from?
You know what? It came from life experiences, not having what I needed in my businesses and understanding what that meant for me. So when I was able to be a problem solver, when I was able to bridge that gap, when I was able to show up for other people like that, gratitude for attitude was something that I remember not having that. So I think that passion and just humble beginnings, not forgetting where I came from. And I understood even living in Arizona, because you know how spread out Arizona is. So it was just very hard to get the right information and to network. So I started a networking organization. This was about 10 years ago called the Coalition Networking Group. I've been a chapter president for multiple networking organizations. So I really became a product of the product and a service of the service to show people better than I can tell people. So that's kind of where it came from, just living as an entrepreneur, not having the roadmap and not having a Mechelle Tucker with First Class Consulting to help me. And I vowed to be a solution. And here I am 11 years later.
Awesome. Paying it forward. That's awesome. Great stuff. So there's a lot of challenges and risk associated with branching out on your own. What was that like? How did you get started on your entrepreneurial journey?
You know what? It was more so being of service, realizing that I do love people, and love helping people. I think the desire came because I saw the results, and that being result driven and getting to that finish line became a competitive sport for me. So for me, it was just something that I think was just deep down inside. Not everybody has that. I think that's why I've been able to navigate as an entrepreneur as long. There's people who don't last as long. There's people who give up on their dream. And also, I really had a dream, and I was not going to stop until I was at the tip top. So I stayed committed. I stayed dedicated. I was a sponge. I volunteered. I really love what I do. And I think that's something that I try to educate and teach people, that you got to have love for it. You don't love it because it's going to come, go. I've had every emotional upheaval happen to me, not having the money, not having the resources, not having the family support or the friend support, but I didn't give up on my body. And I think because my mother is the reason why I relocated to Arizona. I was a young wife, a young mother. I had a lot of mouths to feed and our 3 kids. So not giving up on my dream and not giving up on my why, no matter how challenging it gets. And trust me, it's going to get challenging. You're going to want to give up. You're going to want to cuss, slap, do everything under the sun. But I never stopped falling in love with my business. And because I truly love my business is why I didn't give up on my business. No matter how many times it got crazy out here, I love what I do.
Awesome. Because yes, there's life's full of things that knock you down. You gotta be able to get back up. That's great. So how did your consulting business start? Was that just sort of happened organically? Just people asking you for help on their project?
Yeah, you know what that was like, super next level organic. And once again, I was such a stickler for knowledge. I was such a stickler to understand the game. And I took the more hands-on approach of learning life and just getting in the game, getting in it, and making it happen. So I think that, and I have a very strong faith in God. I trust God, with everything that also was instilled in me from my mother. So I think having that strong will, keeping the faith, staying positive, staying optimistic is truly who I am. I know there's a lot of people who I've met in passing or maybe just follow me on social media, and they're like always coming to me, you seem like you have it together, or you network. I said, well, I understand the art of networking because it is an art to it. So I stay consistent in who I am and what I do. I've had people see me on social media and come to an event that I've done and might have watched me. You said, hey, I've been watching you for like 5 years. I'm like, you never said hi, anything. But they saw how I showed up, how consistent I was, and how committed I was. So now it's kind of like, I'm like the human Google for certain people. They'll call me if I call Mechelle, she'll let us know. And also I'm very authentic in my integrity. And like I said, I'm a notary. So, being honest and ethical, and I'm very intentional about that. So I think I've built up a reputation of trust, of being a safe space, of doing what I say and saying what I do. And when you consistently have done that, I guess it's built up the right reputation to say, you know what, she knows what she's talking about. And if I don't, I'm honest. I point them in the right direction. I'm not a gatekeeper. So I think I've built that safe space as an individual where people are like, you know what? She's the real deal. And I trust what she say, and I'll take her advice, or I'll bounce some things. I have people call me all the time. Let me just try to get in your head a little bit. I'm like, well, cost to do that. But, I'm grateful that people, see who I am and at least, take my advice or take my information. And a lot of people do apply it. So I'm grateful for that too.
Excellent. Yes, that's got to be incredibly rewarding when people actually take action and have great results thanks to your insights.
Yes.
So it seems like a good week to do so. I think you mentioned you had just recently discussed the topic, but in terms of that abundance mindset, right? A lot of that comes from you said your faith maybe, but also can you speak to the importance and how you nurture gratitude?
Well, like I said, I never forgot where I came from. So that is something that has been instilled in me. Also, just being able to be grateful for the journey. Oftentimes I have to slow down. We're entrepreneurs, we're grinding, we're hustling. And sometimes I have to take time to slow down and smell my own roses because I'm in go mode. And I'm like, you know what? I've had some traction. I've accomplished some things. And in that way, I don't get too overwhelmed. I've also learned less can be best too, when it comes to business and development and just taking that self-care time. So I've learned to balance that. It took me a minute now because I just turned 50 years old this year. So like I said, I'm still learning. You never stop learning. But I've learned to be a little bit more aligned with my intentions. And in my group of network of individuals now are a little bit more wiser, growner, more experienced, where we kind of iron sharpens iron. So it took me a little, and like I can learn from a kid too. So you don't have to be grown, but I do appreciate realness and people who are like-minded, hearted, and spirited.
Okay, right. Yeah, a lot of gold here, Mechelle. You're dropping some good stuff. Thank you. You make a great point too. I wholeheartedly agree that you need to slow down in order to be grateful. And in this day and age, it's so hectic. We have like 20 fires to put out. And at the end of the day, you're just thinking about the last one. You don't appreciate the 19 things you got done or the 19 things that went well. We have a negative bias, and it's to be grateful. You have to often make a practice out of it and be intentional about it to remind yourself. Otherwise, you can be ungrateful about the one thing that didn't go right. And that spirals out of control into negativity and badness for sure.
Absolutely. You just said a whole lot there. And that is absolutely true. So I've learned that. And then, other people who I network with or just kind of hang out with, we just try to, share those same sentiments and just hold each other accountable because it's a lot going on. Yeah, I don't need to knock anybody down who's already low. Life is already life and enough for everybody. So I just try to practice some grace. And I've learned patience. That was not always my virtue.
That's a muscle. You got to work on it. Yep.
Yes,
for sure. And having kids helps grow that patience muscle too.
Yeah, especially, and in my case, Tim, I had my first one at 19, my second one at 25, and my third one at 41.
Oh, wow.
So that changed the trajectory. And
you've got a strong patience muscle.
Yeah, so my patience has definitely been stretched. Having a kid, in my 40s. So, but he's definitely been the love of our life. He's given me a new sense of purpose and building legacy, and why I'm going as hard as I am now, and where I'm at in my businesses.
Okay, excellent. Let's speak a little bit about the Phoenix area, right? And you have different networking and different initiatives in the Valley. You mentioned one that you have in town with a partner?
Yeah, so I'm super excited that I've actually partnered with the amazing Bridget. She actually was a former WNBA player. She coached for the WNBA for 14 years. She actually resides here locally in Phoenix. She actually has a garden out in South Phoenix, and we actually just came together at our office/boutique in the last week. This is like hot off the press in the last week. So a lot of what I do with the candles, I use various herbs. So I'm going to be sourcing that through Bridget, but Bridget also provides very, very, very healthy plant-based meals, smoothies. She sells a lot of things in her garden, prepackaged seasonings. It's kind of like a baby Walmart over at her garden where you can pretty much go grocery shopping.
Sounds like an impressive garden. Very cool.
Yeah, and get all of the nutritious food there. So like I said, just being able to align myself with amazing women like Bridget, who has had amazing accomplishments in her sports career. She's transitioned into entrepreneur with her Miss B's Garden Market to be able to align with her. And this just came from networking. We literally, this time last year, was just meeting each other. The WNBA All-Star was just in Phoenix this past July. Bridget got the Ring of Honor in May through the Mercury and the NBA. So there was just a lot that created synergy. We love the way each other work with each other. And literally just this past week, we moved into the office together. So this would be our first venture. And I'm super excited about that opportunity located right there in North Central Phoenix. And that just also just attests to the power of networking, the power of just keeping an attitude of gratitude. When I first got the office, I was on the third floor in about 200 square foot of space. And then we just moved, just like Wednesday, got the key to the first floor with 520 square foot of space. So this time last year, this wasn't even in my radar, the opportunity to even get the space and now be able to kind of open up a business hub where I'm able to do what I love, creating win-win-wins, figuring out ways to be able to be solution-oriented and help other business create success. So to be able to extend that opportunity to someone of Bridget's status and be able to solve with her, to be able to create a win-win-win for her businesses is definitely part of what makes my dream the reality that I can live myself. So I'm super excited about that. So Tim, you got to come by and I got to get you some candles and you got to get some of the food and check us out and see what we're doing over there.
For sure. Awesome. Very cool. Thank you. Here's a question I like to ask my guests. It's a reflection question, right? What do you wish you knew sooner, earlier in your career about building wealth and success?
Oh, bullets. Don't depend on friends and family. I've definitely gotten my heart broke and got my feelings hurt thinking my friends and family were going to be my biggest supporters. And that's not necessarily true. So I kind of, had to learn the hard way to be able to organically build my clientele, build my correct customer base. The networking side of me always is there, and I'll still give love to friends and family, but I don't expect them and prioritize them to be the bottom line to make my business a success. So that put me through some unnecessary challenges in life. Because your heart gets involved. These are your friends, these are your family, then it just gets messy and drama filled. So that's one thing that I wasted time because I'm back and forth. There's rumors, the sidebars, the gossip, but it's like at the end of the day, it didn't even matter to the bottom line. So I had to learn not to be a people pleaser because that was definitely an issue that I had early on. because you just want everybody to love you. You just want everybody to like you. You just want, that bliss. And I had to, get strong really quick, so I think for me that because of the love I have for people and you just, going by what people say, face value. I've learned to put background checks, reference checks, credit checks, all the checks in balance as far as who I move forward with, and having those type of policy the place has saved money.
Okay. Yes. It's often lonely as an entrepreneur, right? You have to have your own motivation. Trying to rely on other people for it, it usually doesn't work. And often your family and friends, some of the closest to you, can be the what's the metaphor? The crabs in the bucket that pull you back down, right? They don't want you to leave. So that's a great answer. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So if you want to learn more about your businesses or what can they do? How should they connect?
So I'm pretty much on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok. So they can follow me my name is Mechelle Secrets, MECHELLE Secrets, or each of the businesses have their own social media accounts as well. So they can go to First Class Candles, that's with the one ST, First Class Consultant, First Class Notary. I'm excited. I'm here to be of service. We have a lot of things we're going to be rolling out to be able to give back to the community. So if they go to my social media pages, probably like Instagram for the most part, Facebook, they'll be able to keep up. I got daily content. So, and I'm just, like I said, I'm looking forward to meeting new people. I have a lot of different resources to truly create win-win-win. So I'm just looking to connect with like-minded, like-hearted, like-spirited people. And if you love candles and like to eat healthy, come on down. We got something for everybody.
Excellent. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you everyone for listening and for watching. Thank you very much, Mechelle Tucker, for joining me today. We appreciate you sharing your insights and your story into your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. It was a pleasure. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Or happy holidays, I should say.
Happy holidays. Yeah, let's do that one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Inspired by our guests? Visit PhoenixProsperityPodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.